Right now at 7 o'clock, former President Donald Trump has officially announced another bid for the White House, what he told his supporters at Mar-a-Lago last night.
An arrest has been made in the disappearance of a Broward County woman who is now dead. Details on the key piece of evidence that detectives need.
School board members voting to fire Vicki Cartwright, what the superintendent had to say about her sudden termination.
And a successful liftoff. The Artemis rocket finally launches from Cape Canaveral after 2 failed attempts.
Live from WPLG, Local 10 News on WSFL starts right now.
Morning, South Florida. Happy Wednesday. I'm Gio Insignares.
And I'm Alexis Frazier. Weather Authority meteorologist Julie Durr is here with your forecast. Good morning.
That's right. Good morning. We are noticing some dense fog out there and patchy fog across parts of Broward and Miami-Dade. This is all because we are waiting a cold front to move in. And since we are the warm sector side of things, we have our dew points and our air temperatures basically at the same temperature. Therefore, with the calm winds, here's our results. 8-mile visibility in Hialeah, 4-mile visibility. And Kendall, things will progressively stay around this area, like 5 to 4-mile visibility, at least for another half hour or so, as that dense fog advisory will be in effect till 8 a.m. Progressively getting better. We'll see lots of sunshine breaking through that patchy fog. And boy, we're going to heat up. Highs will be in the upper 80s, flirting with a record. More on the forecast coming up.
And now, here's your Local 10 traffic update.
Good morning, South Florida. Let's get a check of your roads because I do have an accident to tell you about. The first one is in Miami-Dade. It is near the Dolphin Expressway, or on the Dolphin Expressway, rather, as you're traveling eastbound. This is right near 137th Avenue, and it is really slowing things down just before you get onto the turnpike. So your speed times there will slow down a bit. Those are your westbound commute times, but you see you're slowing down to about 14 miles per hour in that area because of that crash. Once you get past that, you'll be back in the green in no time. But I do want you to be aware of that. As for Broward County, you're accident free. No accidents for you. A look at I-95 southbound at Sunrise Boulevard shows your lanes moving smoothly. Griffin Road also looking good without any issues. And I'll be right back in the next couple minutes with another update. Alexis?
Developing this morning, former President Trump has announced he is running for president again in 2024. He confirmed his bid yesterday at his Mar-a-Lago estate.
This will be Trump's third run for the White House. Local 10 Syra on. We're live in Palm Beach County with those details. Syra?
So, Gio and Alexis, this announcement really came as a surprise to no one. But the big question now is if he can secure the nomination for the Republican Party.
We have some breaking news in Miami. Rescue crews discovered a man had been shot in the face and the leg and robbed. The victim was taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital, and this happened in the 700 block of Northwest 47th Street just before 2 o'clock this morning. There's no word on the victim's condition or whether any arrests have been made.
New this morning, a shooting investigation underway after one person was shot in Northwest Miami-Dade. This happened last night along Northwest 22nd Avenue. The victim was taken to the hospital. As of now, the victim's condition is unknown. Police are now investigating what led up to the shooting. And anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers. That number in Miami-Dade, 305-471-TIPS.
And breaking overnight, NASA's Artemis moon rocket has blasted off in its debut flight with test dummies aboard. The capsule was sent early this morning on a 25-day mission to orbit the moon and return safely to Earth. Now, this is a big step closer to putting astronauts back on lunar surface. This is for the first time since the end of the Apollo program 50 years ago. And we are hearing from Broward School Superintendent Vicki Cartwright for the first time since the school board fired her in a surprise vote during late night meetings on Monday. Local 10's Hatsavella has more on the political battle from Fort Lauderdale.
Poland's president says the missile blast that killed 2 people appears to be an unfortunate accident, not an intentional attack. And NATO's chief says there's no indication it was a deliberate attack by Russia. That rocket explosion took place a city just north of Poland's border with Ukraine. Officials also saying that rocket appears to be Russian-made.
Caught on camera in New York, why a security guard is being praised for his heroic actions after confronting a man armed with an AR-15.
But first, why the mayor of Uvalde says the acting police chief will no longer be with the department by the end of the week.
Video of a woman waking up in an empty Alabama urgent care has gone viral. The video you do not want to miss is next. And we're going to take a live look around South Florida. Love when people taking advantage of that Hollywood boardwalk out there. And look at this, 4 for 4, beautiful skies out there.
Too bad, 7:10 your time right now. Julie's going to be here with a look at your forecast, and Andrea has a look at the roads 2 minutes away.
You're watching Local 10 News on WSFL with Gio Insignaris and Alexis Frazier. Local 10 hurricane coverage on WSFL is brought to you by Catholic Health Services.
Good Wednesday morning, South Florida. We are under a dense fog advisory for areas inland Broward County, mainly dealing with the worst of the fog this morning. Here's what it looks like from I-75 and Royal Palm Boulevard. Yeah, some patchy fog out there. Again, as we go to the east, it's beautiful, bright blue skies and dry conditions, and that's because that fog always develops inland, especially when we have our dew points and our air temperature at or near each other. And the winds are calm. So right now, low 70s, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, upper 60s, Hialeah, and Kendall, 76 in Key West. By tonight into tomorrow, it's going to be a nice way to end the week before rain returns this weekend.
And now, here's your Local 10 traffic update.
All right, South Florida, let's get a check of those roads now. I told you about this accident impacting your commute on the Dolphin Expressway. It's still there, so let me update you on it because your speed times are still clocking in pretty slow. Again, Dolphin eastbound, right at 137th. You'll slow down to just 4 miles an hour. So I want you to be aware of that this morning. Once you get past this chunk, you'll be back in the green in no time, back to 69 miles an hour. And then I want to talk to you about Broward County because Broward County's been accident-free. Your cameras are looking good and they're working today. Take a look at that. I-95 southbound at Sunrise Boulevard, north and southbound lanes moving smooth. And then Griffin Road, no issues there. It is smooth sailing. Enjoy that smooth commute. Alexis?
And Apple unveiling a new safety feature that allows users to send emergency texts despite having no service. What consumers need to know.
And Thanksgiving right around the corner, how you can save money on the big dinner despite those high prices at the store.
Local 10 weather with sealed meteorologist Julie Durda. Local 10 traffic on WSFL is brought to you by the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Take back control of your life.
You know, you have already been to the stage where you bought your food, but I have not yet. All right, let's talk about this. Yeah, my aunt's still cooking for me. Well, still to come, an arrest made in the case of a missing woman in Broward County who has now been reported dead, who police say is behind her murder, is coming up at 7:30.
And right after the break, a Pembroke Pines teacher showing off her dance moves as she teaches a classroom full of kindergarten children. The adorable video you don't want to miss.
The only place to watch me in South Florida is right here on WSFL-TV.
Tamron Hall Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on WSFL-TV.
I know, she's killing it, too, with the dance moves. She might have a future in dancing, too. She probably has a background in it. All right, guys, the news is 7:30 coming your way next.
We'll have another check of your forecast and traffic as well. It is 2 minutes away.
WSFL-TV, celebrating 40 years of entertaining South Florida.
Right now at 7:30, ready to run, former President Trump officially announcing another bid for the White House. What he said in his speech at Mar-a-Lago.
Social media model Courtney Clinton back in court this week, and we are seeing new video of a previous arrest.
A Broward County man facing charges days after his estranged wife was reported missing. Details on the key piece of evidence that detectives need.
Mission to the moon, the historic launch of Artemis this morning, and what it could mean for humans possibly taking another lunar trip.
Live from WPLG, Local 10 News on WSFL starts right now.
Happy Hump Day, South Florida. I'm Alexis Frazier.
And I'm Gio Insignaris. I'm kind of upset that the launch didn't happen,
during the show?
Kind of during the times when we were awake.
Well, yeah. I told you, just had to wake up early.
I know, or stay up late, depending on your time of the day. You know, it's like a Christmas present under a tree, though. You wake up and you're like, oh, I can see the whole launch. And there it is after the fact.
Okay, so let me tell you, I woke up at 2, so I missed it by 5 minutes, but I was all over social media because I wanted to make sure, one, it happened because I had said it was going to happen, and then 2, seeing everything was amazing. You can go on my social media page, any social media, or just watch us because we're going to show it to you. It was spectacular. One thing that we're noticing this morning as we are ahead of that cold front, we've got some dense fog out there, patchy across mainly inland Broward. That's where we do have the dense fog advisory till 8 o'clock. Otherwise, temperatures upper 60s and lower 70s. The winds are calm. The air is still unstagnant. We are expecting a very hot day. Highs will reach the upper 80s as the cold front approaches later tonight. I'll have more details on when it clears and what it's going to do to our temperatures coming up.
And now here's your Local 10 traffic update.
All right, South Florida, let's get a check of your roads. We still have a crash impacting your commute on the Dolphin in Miami-Dade. This crash is still slowing things down here on those eastbound lanes. You'll slow down to about 16 miles per hour near 137th Avenue. That's still active, but like I've been saying, no need for an alternate route. Once you get past this, you'll be back to about 65 miles per hour in that area. And then Broward County, you just have these delays. Not an accident or anything here on I-95 northbound. This is just as you're approaching Sunrise Boulevard is where your speed times will slow down there quite a bit to 16 miles an hour. Have some patience, no need for an alternate route, and no accident in that area. I'll leave you with a look at your commute and your cameras on I-95 in Broward County. Sunrise Boulevard, that's what I just showed you on your maps. You see traffic building on those southbound lanes, but Griffin Road is looking a lot better with your north and southbound lanes moving smooth.
And we have some breaking news out of Davie right now. We're told a woman may have been found dead inside of a residence. This is happening in the 4600 block of Shirai Lane. And we understand this is being considered suspicious, but we are waiting on authorities to confirm exactly what happened here. We have a reporter headed to the scene and will bring you a live update in our next hour of news.
Developing now, former President Donald Trump announcing his third bid for the White House last night. He filed the paperwork to run for president just before his speech at Mar-a-Lago. Trump promising his supporters he will, quote, make America great and glorious again.
Social media model Courtney Clenny facing a judge again after being accused of allegedly murdering her boyfriend.
Her court appearance comes as newly released video shows the couple's troubled past. Let's get to Local 10's Annalise Garcia, who is live in Miami with more. Annalise.
Good morning, Gio, Alexis, and this hearing was about whether or not Clenny should receive a bond so she can await her murder trial at home. This is kind of like a mini trial. The defense and the prosecutors bring evidence forward and they argue this. There was no decision made. That will continue today. And as you mentioned, we did see a deeper look into this couple's violent relationship with some new video you're about to see.
A Broward County man facing charges days after his estranged wife was reported missing. Investigators say Mimos Docio was murdered in her home and that her husband, Jose Pacheco, put her body in their car and disposed of it in an unknown location. Family members tell Local 10 the couple had been going through a messy divorce and that Docio vanished before she had a chance to request an emergency restraining order.
The lady was very nice with everybody.
She didn't deserve that.
Authorities say her body has not been found.
To a safety alert now in the arrest of a high school football coach. 28-year-old Makedius Bain is accused of unlawful sexual conduct with a child between the ages of 12 and 17. He's charged with 8 counts of sexual battery. Bain was an assistant football coach at South Broward High School. Police say the victim's mother called detectives after finding what was described as explicit texts on her daughter's phone. The school district says Bain was a temporary employee and has since been fired. NASA has successfully launched its most powerful rocket to space after 2 failed attempts.
Yeah, the high-stakes Artemis 1 mission will send the rocket to the moon as NASA tries to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon by the end of the decade. And right now, everything is working as planned. The rocket is on its way to the moon, and it will be several days until it gets there. But already this mission is one for the books.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, our Day of Giving campaign. Right around the corner, we highlight another organization helping the community. That's next.
But first, several people arrested in a fraud scheme inside one of Florida's largest homeowners associations. The details next.
And everyone chips in when a plane full of rescue dogs makes an emergency landing on a Wisconsin golf course. I'll tell you that story straight ahead.
You're watching Local 10 News on WSFL with Alexis Frazier and Gio and Signaris.
The Jennifer Hudson Show is here. Everybody put your hands together.
Today at 5 on WSFL-TV.
It's been more than a month and a half ago since Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida, leaving boats scattered everywhere from streets to yards. The deadline has now passed for owners to claim their boats before the state destroys them and takes them to landfills. The Florida and Wildlife Conservation Commission says it's assessed more than 3,000 boats displaced by Ian and determined that more than 500 of them are ruined.
To an update now, 5 people have been arrested in a fraud scheme inside Florida's largest homeowners association. The Miami-Dade State Attorney announcing Tuesday that the arrests include both past and present board members of the Hammocks Homeowners Association in West Kendall. They're accused of being involved in a racketeering and money laundering scheme that netted more than $2 million in stolen funds.
New details about a stabbing in Northwest Miami-Dade. Police say a father and son got into a fight near 73rd Avenue and 61st Street on Tuesday, and that the son stabbed his father. The man was airlifted to the hospital with a stab wound to his torso. Police say a woman who was trying to break up the fight was also hurt. Officers also suffered minor injuries while taking down that suspect.
Coming up on 7:45, your time on this hump day, and so far 7:44 and 74 degrees.
Ooh, we haven't done that in a minute.
It's the little things in life, Julie, that puts a smile on my face.
And this calendar also. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring you the calendar so you can do the countdown. Not quite sure you guys are getting food, but it's already very busy out there. And I do want you to know I did get my turkey for 99 cents per pound yesterday at Publix. Very proud. Very proud, good coupon shopper here. I still have some more shopping to do, but I think I'll be okay. Why? Because we've got 8 days, so we still have plenty of time. Fresh, not frozen. Remember that, fresh, not frozen, Butterball. Okay, end of the hurricane season is in 14 days, so I mean, I'm on cloud 9. Christmas, 39 days away, and New Year's Eve, 45 days away. So the countdown is on, and we're seeing blue skies and dry conditions. We are the envy of the U.S. with temperatures in the lower 70s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, 76 degrees in Key West. It is freezing for much of the United States. For us here in South Florida, I know it's above average, upper 60s and low 70s, but we'll take it. We can head to the beach. Beach and boating, highly suggested today. So we'll go from the upper 80s today to the lower 80s tomorrow. If you want to head to the beach or do some boating, I highly suggest it. No advisories. As you can see, beach and boating looks good. Headed to the beach, enjoy, grab the sunblock.
And now here's your Local 10 traffic update.
All right, let's get a check of your roads. I have an update for you. Remember that crash I told you about on the Dolphin Expressway? I've been talking about it for most of the morning. It has since cleared, but now I have this closure. It is on 137th, so pretty much very close to that last accident I was reporting. 137th southbound near the Dolphin. This southbound lane is closed because of a crash. 8 miles per hour is what you'll be traveling at, and your northbound lanes are also clocking in at just 7 miles an hour. In Broward County, you don't have a crash. You just have these delays on I-95 northbound. Right near Oakland Park Boulevard is where you'll slow down to 11 miles an hour. I'll leave you with a look at your traffic cameras here. I-95 southbound at Sunrise Boulevard is where those delays are stacking up all the way up until you get to that Oakland Park exit. And then Griffin Road, so a little further south, you can see that those north and southbound lanes are moving just fine in that area. So the further north you go into the Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park area, that's where your delays will start to pick up. Alexis?
Still ahead for you, the Panthers defeating the Capitals on home ice, and the Miami Heat getting ready to take on the Toronto Raptors. We'll have it all for you next in sports.
You're watching Local 10 Traffic with Andrea Martinez on WSFL.
This is genius.
Jerry O'Connell hosts the world's greatest family party game, Pictionary.
Today at 1:30.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Will Mansell with your Local 10 Morning Sports Wrap. I'm Will Mansell, and that's your Local 10 Morning Sports Wrap.
Get what's new, what's now, and what's next on the list.
Today at 9:30, only on WSFL-TV.
So this is something you don't see every day. An 11-year-old boy pulls up to a store in California and buys snacks in a pink battery-powered toy Hummer.
Customers pumping gas, capturing the little pink Hummer on camera. One customer says he was pumping gas at the Chenoweth Get and Go Monday morning when he spotted the boy. Says he just had to record it.
He opened the door, he said, put his bag down, sat down. As he's backing out, he's looking over his shoulder.
It was fruit and chicken and soda and this.
So his mom, Amy, smiling over her son's skills, says she's relieved he's okay. Jason, now the talk of the town. If anything, this just means he's going to nail his driving test in about 5 years. At least you'd hope so.
Man, I used to have one of those. I don't know. I want to wonder if I could fit in it.
Gone are the days of bicycles and scooters.
What? These were around when we were little?
No, but to drive to the gas station
not
down
to
the
drive
road.
to the gas
I'm just
station,
saying,
no.
like, you
It's
know,
around the side, around your house.
I'm just thinking of all the classic '80s movies. When we were kids, you drive your bike around the park. Now
Right,
you're just
yeah.
driving your Hummer. You know, they see me riding.
I need to know
rolling.
if that's his sister's Hummer or something.
Yeah.
That's his Hummer.
Riding
All
dirty.
right. Well, the news at 8 is coming your way next.
We'll have another check of
See
your
me
forecast
rolling.
and traffic right after this.
They're back.
I feel kind of melancholy.
Melancholy. And better than ever.
I'm doing it! I'm flying! No! I buried all my whoopee cushions in the backyard.
They're Springfield's biggest family, The Simpsons.
Tonight at 6:30, only on WSFL-TV.